G'day everyone, Matt here from Mile Marker 66, and today we're going to be looking at the Char-Griller Cooker Akorn. This is one of my favourite barbecues, one of my go-tos probably on a daily basis. There's a couple of things I really like about this barbecue. First one is the price point. In New Zealand we're looking around that $700 to $750 mark for one of these, which I think is really good. You're not breaking the bank, but you know you're buying something that is of a really sound quality. The other thing I like about this is, as opposed to a lot of other Kamado cookers, this is made out of steel rather than ceramic, and the reason that I like that is because I'm competing, so I'm moving it around a lot. I'm loading it into and out of the trailer, taking it to and from competition, so the steel construction makes it a lot lighter and easier to maneuver around, which I really like. And the third thing I really like about this is the fuel efficiency, and that'll be true of all Kamado cookers, but these types of barbecues are really efficient, and when you're buying a bag of charcoal for $25, $30 a go, your fuel efficiency becomes quite important. Rather than going through a bag on 1 or 2 cooks, now you're stretching it out to 3 or 4. So that is also a really big selling point for a barbecue like this. All right, let's have a look at some of the features of the Char-Griller Akorn. Right, so down the bottom here, we've got our ash catcher, and this is really easy to remove. There's a clip on each side you undo, and then it's simply a matter of sliding it forward and lowering it down. The other thing you'll notice down the bottom here is your air inlet here. So this is just a slide. It goes back and forward like that, and you'll see that it's actually got a numbered system, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's really great when it comes to setting your bottom vent. Okay, as you move up the barbecue, you can see you've got these 2 trays, one on either side here, and they just fold down just like that. Nice and easy for transport or storage, and they're really handy for putting bits and pieces on that you need for your cook. Okay, so the lid has a latch on it down here, you can see, so we'll just flick that to open it up, and we'll have a look inside. Okay, so inside the cook chamber, the first thing that goes in is this bowl here, and it just sits down the bottom. Okay, so you can see when that bowl's in there, you've got that nice little air gap around here, and that just helps out with the efficiency and not losing heat on the actual shell of the barbecue here. Right, the next thing we put in is our heat deflector. It's a little plate like this. It's actually ceramic. So you do want to be careful when you're handling it. You don't want to drop it. I've actually wrapped this in tinfoil too, and the reason for that is that when you're cooking, you've got fat and meat juice and sauce and other bits and pieces that drip down, so I just want to protect the ceramic plate itself. And it just sits in here like this. The last part to go on the top here is the grate. So you've got this cool little handy tool here, and that just slots in either side, and you can just lift it up, remove it, and place it back. The other thing that you might notice in the middle there too is you've got this removable section, and if you wanted to and your heat deflector was out, you could use that to refuel the barbecue. So you might think that's a bit of an odd spot to refuel or put more fuel in if you need it. I guess the simple fact is that these barbecues are incredibly efficient. You shouldn't really need to be refueling during a cook. Right, and there is an additional warming tray that you can put on here. And that's quite a handy extra feature, that warming tray there. So you can see there's quite a lot of real estate on the Akorn. So that's a bit of an overview of the Akorn. What we'll do now is we'll light it up. I'll show you how I do it. It will be a bit dependent on the fuel that you're using and what you like to cook and how you like to cook it. But today I'm going to be using the Char-Griller lump, and we're going to start with a half a chimney of unlit charcoal, and then pour half a chimney of lit charcoal on top. Right, so what we're going to do from here is I'm going to set my bottom vent to 3 and my top vent to 1. And we're going to let that come up to about 250 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, now we've reached 250 degrees. What we're going to do is we're just going to close those vents in a touch. So on the top, we're going to go to a half. And down the bottom, we're going to come in from 3 to 2. And then from there, we'll bring it up, and it should sit somewhere around that 275 to 300 range. And once it's steady, you're good to go. So there we go, we're sort of sitting around there, 280 degree Fahrenheit. It might come up a little touch, but it's probably going to level out around about there. So we're ready for cooking. Okay, so there we go. That's, I guess, a brief introduction or overview of the Char-Griller Akorn Kamado cooker. They're great little units, like I said at the start. In terms of our daily cook, they're probably one of the most used barbecues that we cook on. Look, if you do own one of these and you're having a bit of trouble with it, try baselining some of your things. So, for example, make sure you're always setting it on the same vent settings, using the same volume of fuel if you can. Maybe try and use the same fuel as well, because they all do behave slightly differently. And if you find it's not working for you, but just make one little change at a time. So for example, if it's not heating up fast enough or not getting to the temperature that you want it to, try opening up the vents a little touch and see how that works, and just make incremental changes until you sort of start to learn the nuances of the barbecue. As always, we hope you guys learned something today and picked something up that was valuable. If you like our content, please give us a thumbs up and a subscribe, and we'll see you next time.